Light the beam. Light the damn beam, bruh. Wow, the Kings really did it again, bro. I would be lying if I said I was not surprised. The Kings just won game 2 of the first round. They are up now. They are now up 2-0 on the Warriors, the defending champions. That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The Kings went from a team that most people, including myself, in the beginning of the season had them not even making the playoffs, being a lottery team again, as they have been for the last 10 plus years. And now, after the surprising season, ended as a 3rd seed, and now they played the defending champions, are now up 2-0. I'm gonna be honest, a lot to talk about this game. I'm gonna start off with the Kings side because we always want to start off with the good, you know. The Kings, man, their offense is legit. They finished the season as the best offense in the league, highest offensive rating, and that is still keeping up even in the playoffs. It was a lot of a team effort. You know, Harrison Barnes 13 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals. Kevin Huerter had 15. Davion Mitchell 14, Malik Monk 18, especially came up huge in that second quarter. I think it was like first 7 minutes of play, he had like 9-12 straight points, no misses. That was huge for them. And then obviously De'Aaron Fox 24. Not his most efficient game, clearly not as efficient as game 1, but you know, he still did what he had to do. Had 9 assists with it, 5 rebounds, 4 steals. He was playing defense out there. And it's a bonus bounce back game from game 1, had 24 and 9 on 8 for 12 shooting. Huge turnaround for Sabonis, especially after that horrible game 1 he had. This was a really good win for the Kings, especially because their offense wasn't bad, but it definitely was not as potent as it was in game 1. It wasn't as potent as their offensive rating shows. This game was more so their defense carrying them to the win, which is good for a team that had that high of offensive rating. They have, I think, one of their bottom 10 in defense. So for you to pull out a defensive win, it's huge. It's huge for the series. It's huge for their confidence moving forward in the series. And I think this was a huge win. This honestly was a must-win game for them. Even though it was only the second game of the series, this felt like a must-win game. I think they felt it, the crowd in the arena felt it. You could tell their energy was must-win, and it paid off for them. They had, now the one thing I want to highlight with their defense, they only had 11 steals. It felt like way more than that. In the second quarter, there was like, I think, a span of like, well, the game opened with De'Aaron Fox getting 2 steals straight by himself. In like mid and second quarter, there was a span where they got like 3 or 4 steals straight. Every time, got a fast break dunk every single time. Like, they were locking up on the defensive end. And, you know, like, this was a very physical game. We don't get into that. But this was a very physical game. Refs were not making many calls. And the calls they did make, a lot of them were questionable. Had a lot of fans on both sides upset. But I feel like the Warriors are collapsing right before our eyes, because this is crazy. I mean, so when you look at the Warriors, Curry 28 points, 9 for 21, not a good shooting game. 3 for 13 from 3, that's terrible for Curry. Klay Thompson 21, probably the only efficient high scorer in this game. Shot 7 for 13, above 50% from 3, hit 5 threes. You know, Wiggins had 19, also not the best efficiency, but not the best efficiency, but still average. Oh, and also Gary Payne off the bench had 13 on 5 or 6. That was good for them. Other than that, no one else contributed offensively. And I'm not gonna lie, Jordan Poole's contract gets worse and worse every game. This man is making max money for what he did last year and last year in the playoffs, but he was also streaky last year. The streakiness has gone up to a whole new level this year, where last year would be like, okay, you get like 2 good games, 2 bad games, 1 good game, 1 bad. It was like that. Now you get 1 good game, like 6 bad games. It's bad, bro. And this is someone making max money. It's not looking good for his contract right now. It's not looking good for the Warriors. I don't know what it is. Their defense is just not clicking the same way. Their offense either. I don't know if it's because of them just making mistakes on offense, even though they're veterans in the series, or just the Kings defense making them make those mistakes. Also, the biggest story for the Warriors, in my opinion, this fucking menace DRAYMOND, bro. This nigga is a menace. Why, like, what is it with this nigga and cheap shots? I don't get it. Over the years, I feel like he always do some shit, kicking someone in the nuts, doing some dumb shit. And then today, literally, so, oh my god, this it still baffles me. So, the Warriors put up, what's the worst? Oh, no, it was the Kings. The Kings put up a shot. The paint is kind of packed, you know, it's in multiple bodies down there, but Clay is kind of in front of Sabonis, and Sabonis kind of hooks Clay's arm trying to get around, but it doesn't work, and then Sabonis ends up falling to the ground. And this man DRAYMOND sees Sabonis fall in front of him and stomps on his rib cage. Like, why? For what? I feel like with most of, like, not even just DRAYMOND, when players like do cheap shots, a lot of times, even though you can tell it's a cheap shot, you can make the case, oh, it was accidental, he was already in the motion. This man saw Sabonis fall, was standing right next to him, lifted his foot to stomp on his stomach, and then kind of hopped over him as if he tripped. Like, that was clear as day, especially when they showed it in slow motion. That shit looked bad. And then obviously, rightfully so, DRAYMOND got ejected with a flagrant 2. He's probably gonna be suspended for game 3 and maybe game 4, because that was bad. So it might be a 2-game suspension. And I don't know. It's like, bro, what are you thinking in that moment? Your team is down 1-0. You're in at the time when that happened. It was like 7 minutes left in the fourth. You're losing, not by a lot, but you're losing, and you decide to get yourself ejected. And the fact that he owns it, he starts yelling to the crowd, like, you know, it's like, you know, when they trying to like when you're in that opposing team arena and you're like boo louder and shit to like taunt them. Why are you taunting the crowd after that? Like, that's not even, like, it's one thing, like, Embiid is a person that does that a lot. Embiid will go crazy on another team at their arena and tell the crowd, like, yeah, keep booing me because I'm cooking your team. This man DRAYMOND ain't doing shit. He just cheap shot one of their players and telling them, yeah, keep booing me because I'm him. No, you're not him, bro. That was weak as fuck, bro. That was weak, bro. I don't know. The more and more as I get older and watch more basketball, the less and less I like this nigga DRAYMOND. I'm not gonna claim that I never liked this nigga DRAYMOND, but I always could value what he did, what he does, and what he did for the Warriors. But then it's like you do stupid shit like that. It's like, bro, what are you doing? I'm not gonna act like, oh, you being suspended is gonna cost the Warriors, but that's some, like, you act like that, like, I can't be like that's nothing, because he's still a big part of their defense, and especially because their defense has been struggling. Them losing him, that's not going to help their team. So now they're down 2-0. They have a must-win game coming up, which DRAYMOND is 1,000% going to be suspended for. If by some miracle he's not, that's crazy. But he's going to be suspended after getting a flagrant 2. And then you egg on the crowd, and I bet you he's going to, like, either tonight or tomorrow morning, there's going to be an episode on his podcast. Like, he's going to have an episode up talking about the game. I got ejected, and he's gonna say some dumb shit about why he stomped on Sabonis' ribcage, bruh. I don't know, bruh. I'm not gonna lie, Game 3 is a must-win for the Warriors. A must win. If the Kings go up 3-0 on the Warriors, one, niggas will never let Curry hear the end of it. Even though Curry hasn't been playing bad in this series, it's just that, like, yeah, niggas just wouldn't let Curry hear the end of it. And it's going to be a bad look, that especially because niggas wanted this matchup. Low-key, this team is scary. This team has become one of the scarier teams in the West. I feel like the scariest teams are obviously Suns, Clippers, and Lakers. To me, were the scariest teams in the West. I'm not going to lie, if the Kings keep playing like this, add the Kings to that list of scary teams. Because really, honestly, if they end this series in 4 or 5 games, they could make it to the Western Conference Finals. They could beat the Lakers or Grizzlies. I genuinely think. The Kings looking scary, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's scary hours. It's scary hours out here. I'm not guaranteeing I'm gonna do this after all the games. But hey, maybe if like the games are interesting enough and I got time, maybe I'll do a recording right after games finish. Like literally, the game just ended. They're like talking on TNT about it, like, you know, Charles Barkley and Shaq and them. They talking about it. So I mean, hey, we'll see what happens. But like I said, this playoffs is going to be fun. It already is fun. It's just gonna get even better. Alright, let me know what y'all think. Like the video, subscribe, leave comments. What's your opinions going on in the playoffs? All that stuff. Alright, peace.